Greetings, fellow Catholics. It is a true joy to welcome you back to our channel, and we pray that your day is filled with the blessings of Christ. As we embark on this journey together, we invite you to stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel, ensuring you don't miss any crucial updates. Join us as we delve into a message that comes at a pivotal moment for humanity. As we approach the year 2024, a powerful and urgent message is being conveyed to the world. This message comes from the Virgin Mary, particularly through the revelations from Medjugorje, and it cannot be ignored. We are entering a crucial period of spiritual testing, a time of purification that will not only challenge our personal faith, but will also shake the moral foundations of our entire society. The message is clear: we are being called to action. Whether you're already walking closely with God or still finding your way, this message is for everyone. According to the prophecies, we stand on the precipice of a transformative spiritual moment. The Virgin Mary's revelations point to three catastrophic events that will soon unfold, each one a trial that will challenge our beliefs, our values, and our ability to remain anchored in the truth of God. These events are not isolated incidents. They are signs of a divine purification process meant to cleanse the world of its growing moral decay. This process, though painful, is a necessary step to bring humanity back into alignment with divine truth. The year 2024 is poised to be a turning point for the world. It is a moment that will test our readiness to confront these trials. Those who have prepared spiritually, who have aligned their hearts, minds, and souls with God, will be better equipped to face what lies ahead. But for those who dismiss the warning and fail to prepare, the coming events may prove overwhelming. This is not a time for complacency. The call to action is urgent. Now is the time to fortify your spirit, to renew your faith, and to ensure that you are ready for what's to come. A central theme of the Virgin Mary's message is the current state of moral decay in the world, particularly the spread of lust. Lust, in this context, is more than just physical desire. It is a spiritual poison, one that is slowly eroding the innocence of individuals and corroding society's moral fabric. This poison leads people away from virtue, drawing them into selfishness and moral disintegration. It is particularly dangerous to young people, whose hearts and minds are still forming. They are bombarded with messages that glorify instant gratification and materialistic pleasures, which only serve to push them further away from the values that once held society together. This rampant moral decay is not just a challenge, it is a crisis. It threatens the very essence of what makes us human and connected to one another. But there is hope. The Virgin Mary's message is one of spiritual fortification. She calls us to return to the foundations of our faith, prayer, repentance, and love. These are the keys to navigating the coming trials. The purification process that is about to unfold will be difficult, but it is also a chance for renewal, a chance for humanity to rediscover the love and grace that can lead us back to divine truth. So, as we approach 2024, let us heed the call to action. Let us prepare ourselves spiritually and mentally for the challenges ahead. Let us fortify our faith, recognizing that only through a deep commitment to prayer and virtue will we be able to face the trials with hope and confidence. This is a moment to act, a moment to return to God and find strength in His love. The time to prepare is now. May we all be spiritually ready to walk through the purification with the grace and courage that only faith can provide. Thank you for being part of this powerful journey. Together, we can face whatever comes with hearts full of faith and trust in God's divine plan. We are already witnessing the signs of a moral crisis unfolding in our everyday lives. The values that once held deep sacredness have been reduced to mere trivialities, and the distinction between right and wrong has become increasingly blurred. The Virgin Mary's message could not be clearer. This moral decline is not simply an isolated issue, but part of a much larger spiritual battle that demands our immediate response. We find ourselves living in an era where the very foundation of morality is under attack. If we do not stand firm against the forces of darkness that seek to distort and destroy our values, we risk losing what remains of our spiritual and moral integrity. The Virgin Mary urges us to recognize the seriousness of this spiritual decay and to take action by recommitting ourselves to a life grounded in virtue, prayer, and unwavering faith. She calls on us to rise above the growing confusion, to hold fast to the truth, and to embrace the light that comes from a life lived in accordance with God's will. One of the most pressing issues the Virgin Mary highlights is the alarming decline in religious vocations. Fewer and fewer individuals are dedicating themselves to religious life, whether as priests, nuns, or other spiritual leaders. This decrease in vocations weakens the spiritual foundation of the Church and leaves communities exposed to the confusion and spiritual darkness sweeping across the world. The absence of strong spiritual leaders to guide and protect us is one of the greatest dangers we face as a society. Without these leaders, the faithful are left vulnerable to the forces of evil and division. Religious vocations are essential to the life of the Church and to the health of society. Priests, nuns, and other religious figures serve as beacons of light, offering guidance, spiritual nourishment, and the sacraments that sustain our souls. Yet, as the number of vocations declines, the Church faces an existential crisis. Without enough priests, how can we receive the Eucharist? Without religious figures to lead us in prayer and devotion, how can we remain strong in faith? The decline in vocations is not just a statistical trend. It is a symptom of a deeper spiritual crisis, one that we must address urgently if we are to preserve the Church's spiritual foundation. The Virgin Mary calls on us to actively support and nurture those who feel a calling to religious life. She encourages us to promote the value of religious vocations within our families, communities, and churches. By encouraging young people to consider a life of service, we can reignite the flame of faith in future generations, ensuring that the Church will continue to be a source of light and hope in the world. Perhaps the most sobering part of the Virgin Mary's message is the warning of divine wrath. She speaks of a purifying event, an act of divine justice, that will cleanse the world of the evil that has taken root. This event will not be a punishment, but a necessary purification, meant to restore balance and harmony in a world that has been led astray by sin and corruption. The forces of lust, materialism, and moral decay have contributed to this spiritual imbalance, and only through divine intervention can it be rectified. This purification will be a time of great trial for humanity, but it will also present an opportunity for redemption. Those who have prepared spiritually and aligned their lives with God's will emerge from this purification stronger and more resilient. This trial is not an end, but a new beginning, a chance for humanity to return to its Creator and to be renewed in faith and righteousness. The Virgin Mary's message is not one of despair, but of hope. It is a call to action, to prayer, and to vigilance. It is a reminder that despite the growing darkness, there is always the light of God's love and mercy. By responding to her call, we can contribute to a revival of faith, a restoration of moral order, and a spiritual renewal that will help us navigate the trials ahead. Let us heed her warnings, pray for an increase in vocations, and prepare ourselves for the purification to come. By doing so, we will emerge stronger in faith and more determined to live according to God's will. For those who have ignored the warnings and failed to prepare, the upcoming trials may overwhelm them with their intensity. The time to act is now, and the Virgin Mary offers us 3 essential spiritual tools to navigate the challenges ahead: prayer, the Eucharist, and support for the priesthood. These 3 pillars are vital for building the spiritual strength we need to withstand the coming purification. Prayer, especially the Rosary Prayer, is the most powerful weapon against the forces of darkness. The Virgin Mary stresses the importance of the Rosary, a prayer that connects us to the divine mysteries and fortifies our faith. It is more than just words. It is a shield that protects our hearts and minds from the influence of evil. Prayer should be a daily practice, a habit that sustains us and keeps us grounded in God's grace. The Eucharist. The Eucharist is not just a ritual, it is the ultimate source of divine nourishment. Through the Eucharist, we draw closer to Christ and receive the strength we need to resist spiritual attacks. The Virgin Mary urges us to partake in the Eucharist as often as possible, for it acts as a spiritual fortress that will fortify us when we face the trials ahead. It is through this sacred act that we are empowered to stand firm in the face of adversity. Support for the priesthood. The Virgin Mary calls on us to support the priesthood and encourage vocations to religious life. Without priests, we lose access to the sacraments, including the Eucharist, and the Church's ability to guide and sustain us in our faith is severely diminished. We are called to pray for priests, support them in their ministry, and inspire young people to consider dedicating their lives to the service of God. In doing so, we ensure that the sacraments and spiritual guidance remain accessible to all. The message of the Virgin Mary is one of hope and a call to action. We cannot wait until the events of 2024 unfold before we begin to prepare. The time is now to integrate these three spiritual tools, prayer, the Eucharist, and support for the priesthood, into our daily lives. By doing so, we will strengthen our spiritual foundation and be equipped to face the challenges that lie ahead with unwavering confidence. As we move closer to the time of purification, it is crucial to remain vigilant. The forces of darkness will attempt to distract and deter us, but with the tools given to us by the Virgin Mary, we can stand firm in our faith. The purification is not something to fear, but an opportunity for spiritual renewal. Those who are prepared will emerge stronger, their faith purified like gold in the fire. The year 2024 holds immense significance for humanity. The Virgin Mary's revelations offer us a roadmap for navigating the spiritual obstacles ahead. By heeding her guidance and embracing the three spiritual keys, prayer, the Eucharist, and support for the priesthood, we can protect ourselves and our families from the coming trials. This is a critical moment in history. The choice is ours. Will we heed the call of the Virgin Mary and prepare for the future, or will we remain complacent, unprepared for the challenges ahead? Let us choose to fortify ourselves spiritually, so that when the purification arrives, we can face it with hope, faith, and the certainty that light will triumph over darkness.